Hey, it's September 14th, 2019. This is Andrew in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm going to show you the two marble slabs that I have that I work with to do leather work on. A lot of people who do leather work like to have these marble slabs because they're nice and smooth and they don't mar up the leather while you're moving it around on the work surface. And a lot of people who tool leather utilize those pieces for all their tooling because it absorbs the blows from their mallets or their mauls, whatever they're using, as they're beveling all the edges down. I don't really do a whole lot of tooling, but I still like to have a nice smooth surface to work on. So I'm going to show you these two pieces that I got, and I would recommend that before you go and go online to one of these leather retailers, one of the big box ones in particular, and spend a bunch of money on a piece of granite or a piece of marble, I would recommend going to your local either a headstone store where you buy grave markers or a countertop store, and see if you can show up there with some cash. Don't show up there with just your debit card or something like that, because what you're doing is you're trying to see if they have any scrap available, and a lot of times they'll either give it to you for free or they'll say like $5 or something. So I just have like some cash you could hand the guy because he's doing you a favor. But the gravestones are good. They're nice and thick and they're really heavy, but if you found one like that had a mistake on it, they misspelled someone's name on it or something, and now they can't use it, well, now it's going to be just laying there in I guess their boneyard or whatever you want to call it, and I bet you could probably get a pretty good deal, and then you just flip it over, put it face down on your workbench, and then you can use that to do your tooling or do all your leather work on. So I'm going to show you these two slabs that I have to give you an idea what I got for no money at all. So the first piece I have is this piece of marble. It's 29 inches by 19 inches, and like I've said before in some other videos, I think we have housing developments that are going up all around us, and I was going by one of those houses while I was walking Lassie, and I seen that the countertop guys were there, and they had chucked this in the dumpster that's outside. All these houses that are going up, they have these big, large dumpsters, and all the garbage, everything just goes in there, and then a truck just comes, grabs it, hooks it, and hauls it off. And I asked him, hey, can I have that? And of course he's just like, sure, I don't care. So I got this piece of marble here for free. You can see, I don't know if this is an insert that went into like they put the big piece of marble down in the kitchen, and then this is where the sink was located. The ends are kind of rounded off, and then there's a mark here and a mark here where the saw, went a little too far, or this is a scrap piece, so it's probably where they intended to stop. I don't know. Anyway, garbage to them, it's worth something to me. And underneath it I have a piece of rubber mat that I got off of Amazon. This is like something that you would set a washer or dryer on to help deaden the sound of a large appliance that's vibrating on the floor. I just bought some that was just a couple dollars, and I put that underneath there, and I also had to wedge it up a little bit with some pieces of leather, because I built this workbench. It's not 100% square or anything like that. Nothing in here is precision because it doesn't need to be. But anyway, I had to do that in order to keep it from wobbling around. Now my second piece this is the first little piece of stone I got. This came from the countertop store. I went in there and with some cash and totally intended to pay for it, but they have all these samples that they have up on the wall, and let's see here. This is a holster I just finished for this friend of mine, his Springfield XDS. It's chambered at 9mm. Turned out pretty nice. Anyway, back to the marble piece here. It's got some sort of line scribed right here. I'm assuming is a piece of garbage. It's going to get thrown out. They gave it to me for free. You know, had a couple bucks in my pocket, totally intended to pay for it. Said, hey, do you have any scraps or anything that I could buy from you? He goes, just a minute. He goes in the back, comes back out with this, and he goes, happy birthday. And he gave it to me, and, you know, and I used this piece. I've had this piece since I started doing leather work back in 2012. And this is the piece I used on the kitchen table to do work with. I bought, you know, some more cheap, not that, that's a poodle board, but more cheap, you know, rubber mat like that. I just lay it down on the kitchen table and put this on top of it and do my work that way. So, like I said, something like this from some of the online retailers, you know, I've seen them very expensive or not too expensive, but I would think that the shipping would be quite substantial, because what you can't see in this video is how heavy these are. I got some little pieces of scrap leather underneath this one here to prop it up and keep it from marring up the surface of the table here, but these pieces are really heavy. And to ship something like that, it's going to cost you a lot of money for something that you could probably get for free if you sourced it locally like I did. So, you know, try a headstone store, see if they have any headstones that they made a mistake on. If you have the ability to load it up in a truck, probably it's going to take 2 people at a minimum to move something like that. But, you know, these pieces here both came from countertop stores, one on site, one at the store, and they both cost me nothing. So anyway, this is Andrew in Omaha, Nebraska. Have a nice day.